Hi everyone. So in this session, we will discuss about SAP S/4HANA MRP Live. Now we are coming to the key topic, key differences between classic MRP and MRP Live. So here the differences wise, I will try go through and give you that required explanation, and wherever it is more valuable, I will try to stress more. And the people who are new to SAP and learning S/4HANA directly and working in S/4HANA, they don't want to keep any focus on classic MRP, then please focus on the MRP live functionalities, which I'm going to highlight. Okay. So the classic MRP in this video, we are not highlighting much and we are focusing more about the S/4HANA MRP live. So the planning scope wise, if you see the comparison, the scope of planning was available in ECC, but it's not available in MRP live. Okay. Compared to ECC, I will use the word classic MRP. Available in classic MRP, but not available here because the scope of planning we used in classic MRP to combine multiple plans into one scope of planning. So that, for example, I have 6 plans, I can create one scope of planning so that all 6 plans related to MRP can run. But now SAP has already introduced to input multiple plans in your MRP run so that this scope of planning is not required. The plant, we can input only a single plant in classic MRP, but in MRP live, we can input multiple plants. Multiple plants can input. So in classic MRP, you cannot input the material. I'm talking about the MD01 transaction where we are going to run for the overall plant. System doesn't like SAP didn't give any kind of option to input the materials, product group or MRP controller or what is the material scope. But all these 4 new functionalities are included in MRP Live. When we run the screen, you're going to understand that. Now you can run for specific materials. Earlier, what we used to do, MD02 or MD03, we have to go if you want to run at the single material. But here, MRP Live can accommodate for the whole plant or a single material or a single plant or multiple plants. Okay. So these are the functions. So the control parameters wise, we used to have multiple control parameters like what the processing key and whether you want to create requisition, a schedule line, MRP list. These are all removed in S/4HANA. System will determine based on your external procurement or internal procurement. Based on that, it will derive the document and it will generate it. So these options choosing everything is reduced. It's simplified for a user who is running MRP. The planning mode, currently we have 3 type of planning modes in classic MRP, but in MRP Live only 2 modes. I will show you what are those planning modes. The scheduling option is available in both classic MRP and MRP Live. The process control wise is to have a parallel processing and display material list. You want to show the display, but those 2 options are not available because parallel processing was already inbuilt of the S/4HANA database, and when you're because you're already running the multiple kind of plants and all, so that option is not available. And this, like I mentioned, that after you run that one, the list is not being shown in MRP Live. It could be to reduce the load or whatever the different reasons. SAP has removed this option. User exit. So there are user exit parameters were available when you on the screen to add some kind of customizations. But whatever the frequent user exit customization used to be done by the clients, SAP has provided those new things in MRP Live. That's why that option is not available here now because mostly the requirements are covered in SAP standard itself. So MPS planning, master production schedule, it's more about the PP related module. Okay. So earlier we used to, in classic MRP, we have to use MD40, MD40 for multiple transactions you need to run. But here the simple material scope field is added in S4HANA. We can choose the option yes or A. So based on that, you can run MRP, which will generate the requirements. BOM components, if you want to include the BOM components, earlier we used to run MD02 transaction so that the parent material and also the child materials both will be considered for MRP run. But now we don't have to go to separate T code, and there is a BOM components indicator. If you click that one, system will, whether the material has any BOM or not. If it has, it will consider the child materials also. Lot of simplification, and multiple T codes are combined to single transaction. Stock transfer materials, scope of planning. For example, if you want to include the supplying plant, receiving plant, two plants, we need to create a scope of planning to combine it. But here, the just indicator stock transfer materials, you need to check and give your both supplying and receiving plant in your input, because multiple plants are allowed in S4HANA MRP lab. MRP controller was not on the screen of MRP run. If you really wanted to include certain MRP control, we have to use the user exit and ABAP and additional efforts, testing, everything. But in S4HANA, MRP controller is an input field. If you want to run for specific MRP controller, you can input and run MRP. The simulation mode, like if in classic MRP, if you see MD02 has the simulation and display results after running. MD03, you can see the display results, but in S4HANA MRP Live, there is no simulation mode option. Performance log, more about the how is the performance of to analyze it, how much time it is taking, and whether how much data is being loaded, and any kind of more pressure on the system. These kind of things. Earlier we used to have programs to check, but now in input field is there. Like you can put the name of performance log, what MRP run was checking. So by using this transaction, so this one MD underscore MRP underscore PRFLOZ. So by giving that name, you can analyze how was the performance in the last night MRP run and the latest MRP run. So those information you can analyze it. Lot sizing procedure and rounding value. If you see the lot sizing procedure in classic MRP, if the requirement quantity is lower than the minimum lot size, we maintain the minimum lot size, maximum lot size, right? If the quantity is less than minimum lot size, system used to the minimum lot size, how much you maintain 100 quantity. If it is came to 80, the minimum lot size is to consider for MRP PR generation. If it is higher, if it is more than minimum lot size and the requirement quantity is more than minimum lot size, it is considering the rounding value. For example, if you're maintaining rounding as 200, it will take the 200 and create it. Still, the lot size will play the role. FX, lot by lot, or monthly lot size, or weekly lot size. Okay, what kind of lot size we are using? Based on that, your PR document, the quantity will be defined. The system will derive that quantity based on your lot size and this rounding value. Lot of parameters will play the role to get the quantity. That's why MRP is complicated and complex topic to understand, so that you learn from the bit and pieces, like the basic setup, what's the purpose, how to set up, and how to run MRP, generating requirements. Later, you can go through about these multiple other fields, the slot sizes or different type of MRP. So these things you will explore to enhance your knowledge in MRP. So in the slot size in MRP Live, always using the rounding value. If you maintain rounding value of 200, it will always consider that and generate a requirement. So this comparison, minimum lot size, if it is less, that complex things are simplified in MRP Live. What is this period lot size? Here in classic MRP, the earliest requirement date determines the start of periods of the grouping requirements, the earliest requirement. In MRP Live, so the planning date of the MRP run determines the start of periods, that which can lead to different, like it will lead to the different quantities and different purchase requisition documents. So based on the information which you have provided, the lot size and the other safety stock, whatever the requirements you generated, system will consider in that way. So it will generate the multiple dates and multiple quantities. If you want to know more about this MRP related things, you can go through these SAP notes. So you can check the document, what kind of new things were introduced in S/4HANA MRP Live, and how to understand and how to proceed further. So when you implement in any of your projects. Okay. So this is about the differences. Okay, let me show in the system before we go to that thing. MD01. This is the classic MRP. MD01N. This is the MRP Live. More simplified and faster also. Okay. So let me use this one now. Yeah. Good. Now we got it. So if you see the comparison, MRP run and MRP live, okay, this one, what I was mentioning about classic MRP, the screen MD01. MD01. MD01, and this one is MRP live MD01N. Okay, so this is about the requirement and how you can understand and do it. Now let us check this one. So the differences which we are talking about, I already explained in the chart. So if you see, the scope of planning is removed because multiple plans can be input. So what is the use of scope of planning? Earlier, scope of planning, I use to combine 10 plans into one scope of planning. So one job is enough for me to run MRP. But I have already multiple plans I can create in my variant so that I don't have to use scope of planning. That's why SAP removed the scope of planning from the screen. So these are the new things are added. Want to change the color. Okay, what all removed, we can put it there. So this processing key also uh, removed and made simplified actually. Now you have multiple processing key you can give, but here you can, I will show you in the system. Here you can have the fixed one, how you are planning that one. So these are all removed. Last I mentioned, these three are removed. Okay. Create MRP list, schedule lines, everything is removed, but the planning mode is still available. The planning mode is still available. The scheduling also available. Scheduling available, planning mode is available, and the planning date. So the date which you are giving, that also are removed because the system is taking the date from the planning. Parallel processing and display material list. These two are removed. Even the planning is also removed. So this user exit key that I told, like the complete user exit concept is removed here. So these are the removed to simplify it. Okay, what are the new things are added? Let me put it here. Okay, what are the new things are added? Multiple entry. So this is the new one. This is multiple entries are added. Product group is a new product group. You can include the material groups for which you want to run MRP. MRP controller. So MRP control is assigned in the material master. Like MRP control is more or less that MRP owner who is running or who is ownership like that. So you can run MRP at the MRP controller. For example, you have a material with 5 MRP controllers. You can run for this MRP controller today and tomorrow another MRP controller. So those kind of things also you can understand that one. So then the material scope. Okay. What is material scope? Let me show you in this system. MRP live. Okay, now this is MRP controller. Just now mentioned that. The material scope I want to show you. Material scope, all materials are MRP materials and MPS materials. So you can define that. Just I was mentioning that one in the comparison. The MPS concept is included here, right? That is more about the production related things. So you can give that one what materials you wanted to do it. Whether you want to run MRP for everything, you just give A, or no, I want to do only for MRP materials or MPS materials. So that also you can run the scope of materials. You can define it. This is definitely a new function which was introduced. Scope of material scope. Changed BOM components, all these are all new things. Because earlier I used to go to MD0 to run for one material to include the BOM, but here you can run for multiple materials. Yeah, completely material is completely a new one. So multiple materials you can run, and also the BOM you can include whether you wanted to include the BOM materials. For example, this material has a BOM. That BOM has a 20 components. So when you click on these things, system will run complete MRP for the BOM. So all other BOM components are changed BOM components. You can see if there are any changes. If you want to really see the documentation, that we will check the documentation part. And stock transfer materials also the new one. Like I mentioned that you can include the supplying plant and receiving plant, both will be considering MRP run. Let us see the documentation for these things so that. Let me check the documentation for this. /n MD01N. Okay. Come here. Okay, the shortcut is not working. Let's say you can use this one. Okay, so changed BOM components. You can here see this include BOM, include changed BOM, like controls whether you want to plan the BOM components during the planning run. So select this indicator if you want the BOM to plan the BOM components in addition to the material selected in the planning scope section. In this case, the system only plans the BOM components for which the current planning run change dependent requirements. Unchanged BOM components are not included in the planning run. Note the system also plans BOM components that are stored in plans that are not specified in the planning scope. Yeah. So it was something like it will include the BOM, although you use the material, parent material, inside all the BOM components also will be included. Okay. What are these all order BOM components? So all order BOM component controls whether you want to plan all order BOM components during the planning run. For example, select this indicator if you want the system to plan all order BOM components in addition to the materials in the planning scope. In this case, the system plans the components in any order BOM of the materials planned, even the component requirement has not changed. The components with special procurement key withdrawal from alternative plant are not considered, only components in the same plant as the output. So let us see this little the difference wise, the both indicators. Let us check that. Definitely will make little confusing kind of a feel. This is for the plan all order one, the second checkbox, and let's go to the first checkbox now. The first checkbox include changed BOM components in planning. The small difference is there. I hope we can read and get to know that. So I put the both of them. So the first button is like controls whether you want to plan the BOM components during the planning run. So here that these are similar controls whether you want to plan all order BOM components during the planning run. So slight differences are there. So select this indicator if you want the system to plan the BOM components in addition to the materials. Like you gave three materials, the components also you want to include, then we will use that change component. Select the indicator if you want the system to plan all order BOM components in addition to the material selected in the planning scope. In this case, the system plans the components in any order BOM. In any orders related to the BOM, it will consider. But here, in this case, system only plans the BOM components for which the current planning run change the dependent requirements. So at high level that there are BOM different orders are there which are not part of our planning run because they have sufficient stock or kind of a thing. Then system will not consider if you don't flag the checkbox. That's about the main point we can say. Okay. So here changed BOM components, if it consider that whether you are giving three materials, the three materials have a three BOM and the three BOMs may be having 200 components. So everything will be considered if you put the first flag. But during run, if there is, if the material has sufficient to the BOM related components, all components have materials, everything, system will not come under the planning scope. But whether it is considered, whether it has a sufficient stock or not, everything, you want to consider all the order BOM components. The components have a different orders. Everything you wanted to impact, then you have to use this checkbox. Stock transfer materials, like I mentioned in the earlier discussion, that stock transfer materials, if you put this one, system will consider the supplying plant and receiving plant, and based on that, the requirement will be generated. Okay. So in the control parameters, we have this regenerative planning. So what is this regenerative planning? So regenerative planning like controls the planning run type to be used in the executing planning run. Select this indicator if you want the system to execute regenerative planning run. In this type of planning run, the system plans all selected materials irrespective of whether they have been changed in a way of relevant MRP since last planning run. If you don't select this indicator, the system automatically executes net change planning. So if you use regenerative, it will consider actually if you are running the regenerative thing, so system will consider any change, unchanged, all those parameter. This is also a new option in S/4HANA MRP Live. So determination of basic dates for planned orders and lead time. This was I was mentioning that in ECC, in classic MRP, we used to have two, the scheduling like determination of basic dates and lead time scheduling capacity planning. And here also the same two options are there. Okay. So there is no difference in this case. This is the way the difference planning mode. So planning mode, there we used to have a three, but here only two. Adapt planning data and delete and recreate. What will happen? Adapt planning data means you have a requirement of 100, take the requirement and generate 100 quantity PR. Okay. So if you select the three, what will happen? It will create the open PR and generate a new PR. You will see a new PR number. Okay. So that's the two different tests. But in classic MRP is to have a three, 1, 2, 3. So re-explode bomb and routing. So here we don't need this re-explode bomb option because already the bomb components option is available. So it's not required. Okay. So already we covered this change bomb, all order bomb. So that's SAP removed that duplicate functionality because they want to completely the functionalities are added in the changed and all order needs to be considered. So name of the performance log, like I mentioned that if you give a name for this performance log, you can analyze it, how was it, how much time it took and all those parameters. So output material list with a job log. This is also a new function. Okay, let me show. Name is a new, output is new, regenerative is new. In planning mode, only 1 and 3 are there. Okay, but here 1, 2, 3. That's the difference are there. Scheduling is exactly same. Okay, you can see these are the simplified. Okay, the processing thing or even when you verify the data, right? So like how MRP Live is considering the backend database and the running faster. Those are all the improvements, and it's a combination of we consider like it's a combination of MD01 n equals to MD01 plus MD02 plus MD03 and also new functionalities plus new functions. So that's the thing. So this is the classic MRP. And this is the MRP live. And if you lot of testing is required, it's not something like we explain one term and it will be coming like that. You need to test and understand how is the behavior. Okay, then only you will get a better clarity. Now let us go to the system configuration. I hope we can remove this entire thing. The few fields maybe you may feel like not much clarity kind of a thing. So definitely you will get a better clarity during testing time. And like I mentioned that if I feel some valuable information needs to be added, this MRP live video will keep getting the updates. Like part one, part two, part three are kind of a bites I'll keep adding whenever I use in my real time for a certain field, what kind of impact it was making. So definitely I will release it. So you don't have to worry much about the some kind of miscellaneous fields and how does it work and all, because I keep adding, I keep sharing that information with all of you. Okay, now let us go to our configuration. So the configuration wise, the prerequisites, yeah, HANA database is required, and this has MRP live is available from 1610. The few new things are added in the later versions. So you must maintain the material master with MRP view, and also ensure that your storage location is valid in the configuration. So the configuration wise, we need to maintain the plant parameter. Here also I want to highlight one point here. When you do the configuration, you might feel little bit duplicate thing, because whatever you see in the plant parameters, number ranges, you will see in the again in the number ranges. Okay, in plant parameters, you maintain something about special procurement, but SAP has given a separate node for special procurement. There may be the few duplicate things you observe it. I also felt like SAP would have made only one place to avoid that. But anyway, just I want to highlight that. If you have done a special procurement in during plant parameters, when you go to special procurement related configuration, it is already available because both are sharing the same backend table, just the nodes are placed in the two different configurations. So in MRP, first you need to maintain the plant parameters. In plant parameters, you can maintain the number ranges or and what kind of details you want, everything for the plant parameters need to be maintained. Then MRP group. MRP group will play a key role to determine the customized document types for your PR or stock transport requisition. So I already covered these configurations in our videos, because these configurations are pretty same for classic MRP and MRP live. So define MRP groups, and here MRP group you can schedule like mainly the which document type you need for your MRP group, and also each material type you can fix the material MRP group for that, so that it will be avoiding the manual input and also any kind of a wrong input values. So you can fix this material type. This is the MRP group. Number ranges, you need to maintain the number ranges for purchase requisition. As an MM consultant, mainly that is your concern area. So you need to maintain for your stock transport requisition and standard purchase requisition, so that the number ranges will be helpful for you to input to get the numbers during PR creation. MRP controller. In MRP controller, you can use the standard 001 to copy and create your own MRP controller. So MRP controller is something like the who is responsible for MRP like that, and he's the one will be visible in your creation indicator when you create a PR with MRP run. This in MRP controller will be visible in the data in the purchase requisition. MRP type, the most important in the entire MRP process. This will determine your behavior of requirement generation and the behavior of your planning process. So like I mentioned that in this video, I'm going to cover this VB and PD I will cover, and definitely I will plan for a few more uh, MRP types to cover in the coming sessions. So special procurement types, mostly we don't touch the special procurement types to create, like for example, whether you wanted to use a special procurement type in a customized one, then you can do that. But in my experience, we never created, but recently I created. I will tell you the purpose. Why did we create it also? Okay. So let me mention that point. Why did we create the special procurement types? So in the special procurement type, what happened? There is a functionality, for example, 40. This is for the stock transfer, STO, between plants. Here you can, for example, GP01 you fixed as a supplying plant for this special procurement type. But I got a requirement that for specific materials, they want a supplying plant as a GP02. Then we don't have choice. We created a 41. Okay. So just for the alignment one, I used 41. Even we can use the, yeah, we can use G1 kind of a customization also, we can use it. That's your choice whether you want to use 41 kind of thing. So I assigned GP02 for 41 and GP01 for 40. Because of that one, system was creating the special procurement based on the key. It will create your purchase requisition. We are going to see in the testing phase. MRP area. MRP area is a concept where you can create a storage location as MRP area and plant as MRP area. If you want to plan your MRP at the storage location level, these MRP areas are helpful. And different storage location will have different MRP areas, and your planning will be consider the MRP area to plan it. So if you want to do it, the plant as MRP area, we don't have to create much master data. You don't have to extend to the MRP area level because we have a separate table for MRP area like MD, MA like that. It's MD. Okay. So it will be MD, MA is the table for MRP area. You can maintain a separate MRP type and reorder point all the information for your MRP areas. So MRP areas you can do at the storage plant level, storage location level, even subcontractor. If you maintain MRP area as a subcontractor, when you run for them, it will check their requirement of subcontracting order and required components. It will generate the document to supply the components to the subcontractor. Okay. Because subcontractor also in our control, because they are making the final product, they need the raw materials or spare part, whatever the materials to do their semi-finished or finished product, so that you can run MRP on behalf of subcontractor. So that MRP area for a subcontractor can be created in SAP system to manage your process. Lot size calculation. Lot size calculation will determine the popular will be like FX, fixed lot size, EX, lot for lot. EX and FX are more popular. Even we have a lot size for the monthly. Recently, I used for one of our clients because what is happening for them, they have the planning of 5, 6 subcontracting purchase orders for doing assembly process. For the same materials, monthly they are having 5 to 6. Currently, system is creating based on EX. It is creating 30, 26, 25 like that. Multiple are creating. So they want to go with a monthly lot size. I think MB. So if you go to monthly lot size, system is considering all and generating 180 pieces at once. Okay. So that's the benefit. We have monthly lot size, weekly lot size, fixed lot size, lot for lot. In real time, mostly we use this EX and FX, fixed lot size and lot for lot. So these are the configurations. There are few other configurations also available, which someone can focus slowly to understand and how it was derived and all. And coming to master data wise also, we have different master data, like in the when it comes to Okay. So, in case of when you are verifying these kind of data, okay, like how you wanted to plan and how do you wanted to make your MRP related things. So these all things will be done. And the master data wise, we have MRP 1, 2, 3, and 4. Total 4 views are there. So the terms wise, ones should understand that what kind of data you are maintaining and how do you want to maintain it for your project. So MRP one, like the MRP type, the important thing. Okay, MRP type, MRP group, MRP controller. As of now, we have seen these information. Lot size, okay, and procurement type, whether it is external or internal. Okay. Procurement type, and also we have I will show you that one screen and all. So safety stock, like I mentioned, that if a company want to maintain minimum kind of a stock, always should be there. So used to prevent that material shortage. If you maintain a safety stock of 50, system ensures that any procurement 50 plus other requirement. Okay. So that will be there. And lot size, I told you lot size will determine your data. So in MRP1, mainly the reorder point control, MRP controller, lot size and all. And MRP2, okay, this one in MRP1. Okay. So the procurement is MRP2. MRP2 wise, procurement type, okay, whether it is in-house or external. So that is the main thing, you maintain it. In MRP3, we have this forecast related data. So if you are using MRP3, the forecast, when I cover this forecast based one, we can see this what kind of values we are going to maintain in the forecast data. And availability check. This will play the key role, which stock we need to consider uh, during calculation of availability. So MRP4 is mainly designed for the storage location view. Storage location data can be maintained at MRP4. So SLOC data and even the bomb related explosion, okay, bomb related data and repetitive manufacturing, repetitive manufacturing. So these kind of data also will maintain in the MRP related information. So the forecasting view, we have a separate forecasting view. Like I mentioned that if you use the forecast based one, then this where the whiteboard. Forecast based planning definitely deserves a separate video because we need to maintain the forecasting view, how the determine the stock requirements will be determined. All those things we are going to learn. Okay, that's it about our as of now explanation. Now we are going to the SAP system. I hope you got the required knowledge and how we are determining and how did we plan the entire process and how we have determined it. So let me revise it what we discussed. Yeah. What are the different type of MRP types we discussed, and materials, how you can plan the internal and external things, and the requirements. You have requirements, the liabilities, and the MRP run will generate the respective procurement to fulfill the business requirements.